Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So, message for today. The message for today says that you are going to receive money from people that live in the consciousness of the false dark matrix, and not only because you have decided at a soul level that you want better for yourself and for your family. You want better for yourself and for your family. And so you will experience a sudden shock, a sudden news, a sudden change in direction. You might be a little scared here, but you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be. Everything is planned out for you. And everything is moving very fast, is what I'm being shown here. So, in summary, this is what I know so far that's going to happen for you soon, in the next 3 months. In the next 3 months, and the energy is going to gain momentum for the collective, which will put others in the same boat as you are at the moment. Now, again, you will receive money from the dark forces because you chose better for yourself and your family. And not only from the dark forces. And don't be scared when I say dark forces. It is part of the divine plan, right? And then you're going to experience a tower moment of sorts. So probably you will arrive one day at your 9 to 5 that belongs to a dark being. And you will feel like, no more. I cannot come here one more day. I cannot work for you one more day. If it's not a workplace, it can be anything else, but I feel it is more around finances. However, that works in your reality. Now, you will experience abundance bit by bit. If you know Steve Nobel, he has a YouTube channel with meditations. He once said, he was talking about his story, and he said that he was gaining a pretty good income from he was working in at a certain corporation. I don't recall exactly how, in which details, but he really felt in his soul that it's time to make a huge decision for him and for his family, right? And so he did so. He didn't know what's going to happen. He didn't have necessarily a plan, but he did take the chance. And so you are going to do the same, or you are going to do the same. You are doing it right now, maybe, or in the next 3 months somehow. And somehow, because you are doing it, I want you to know that you are a leader in your community, a leader in a certain niche, for a certain group of people here, because once you jump, others feel it at a soul level, that the path is clear, the path has been initiated. Someone here initiated a path and they are doing okay as of now, and so I'm just going to follow that. I am not going to sell my soul to the devil any longer. Selling your soul to the devil can mean that I hate my life, I hate this, I hate that. And when I say hate, I know it can feel like a very heavy word, but it is that feeling of exhaustion, and you know you cannot do that any longer, be that a relationship, be that a career, be that whatever that is, and you are still doing it month after year after year. And so if you do that for such a long time, your soul is now sold to the devil. Meaning, your soul is now becoming like dumb. Like, probably you have heard this for sure many times. They don't really care about us. They don't. They don't know what care is. And they are the beings, people on the false matrix. The dark side on the false matrix. And I dare to say, on the white, false light, on the white side of the matrix also. We don't really know what self-care is. That's why I've been repeating this message. We don't really know what is good and what is bad and how to get out of that. And even if we know, it is hard to believe and to have faith that we can get out of a situation. That's why faith is so important. That's why creating that connection with the divine is so important. Right? And so others will take here your leadership, your guidance. And more people will retreat themselves from the dark false matrix, and they will find a new life on the false light side of the matrix for now. That's the next step. They will set up camps, set up tents for themselves. And in that way, the false dark matrix will weaken. The structure there is going to weaken. And they will wake up eventually. They will wake up eventually. All the dark/black magic that's in that part of the world, it is because you and me, we sold our soul to the devil one too many times. As we take a chance, as we take a risk, they lose their power. And we will see how the dark magic, how their magic, which is not healthy at all for no one involved, is going to dissipate time and time again. So this is the message for today. There are 3 couples. There are 3 couples that are in divine union. They will be in divine union. And when I say divine, I'm saying these couples, they are not on the false matrix. They exited the false matrix and they now live super grounded in crystalline consciousness, which means you are basically, you have a clear vision. You are out of the matrix and you have a clear vision of what's happening. From this perspective, you have little to no shadow. From this perspective, you have little to no shadow. You now know how to solve a Rubik's Cube in 3 seconds. Magic is real here. Miracles do happen. And they will create magic in the world and miracles, so to speak, in order to bring more of you back home. More of you as close as possible to the original intent of how people should live life on earth. This is the real revolution. And the war ends here. That ancient war ends with you by making better choices and healthier choices. If you want to see the change in the world, you have to change yourself. And changing oneself It is not burning incenses in your room and saying a prayer. It is really looking at yourself in the mirror and asking yourself the hard questions. Do I really want my child to see me as a model? And if I do want that, do I really believe deep inside my soul that whatever I taught them so far, it is the right teaching? And that in itself is an awakening of the soul. And the soul now is ready to fight. The soul now is ready to open that portal towards a better life for yourself. The soul is now ready. And the army of God resides besides you and within you eventually, if you say yes to the new adventure. And then all of your cells will miraculously transform from the old consciousness to the new paradigm. You might see them as little angels in your body, little fluffy angels. Very cute. Because they have so many wings, you are now having wings to fly from one side to the other. Yes, it is to the polar opposite, more or less. It's a spectrum. But it's the next step towards living life as you want to live it, on your premises. I'm not sure if this is correct in English, but English is not my first language. These three couples will lead the world. One is in the shadows for now, meaning they are not just yet in union, and they are not going to be visible to the world very soon. Is this what I'm seeing here? I'm being a little bit corrected. They are not necessarily in the shadows. They are very grounded and they are very deep individuals, right, of essence, but they will not show their faces to the world just yet. The other two, they will travel, they will fly all around the world, and they will spread the word. Of Jesus, of the second coming. And it's not what you think, it's what you feel. So what do you feel about it? Okay. Temperance, the pond of balance. Look at that yin-yang symbol right there. There is an activation happening in your soul. Your soul knows it's time. The time is now. The time is now for me to be the leader in my life first and foremost. And then, energetically speaking, I lead others. Energetically speaking, you don't have to have a platform, you don't have to have a YouTube channel. Obviously, if you really want to, do it by all means, right? If you are someone that's really a leader in your life for the highest good of all, you for sure should be out there sharing your energy if you feel it's the right thing for you. And in many cases, I would even take away this if you feel it's the right thing for you. I would just go and put yourself out there. Share your energy. talk about whatever you want to talk about. Your energy only is getting people pregnant, inseminating people, regardless of gender, with the desire of changing themselves and as a result, changing the world. Again, this card. The Seven of Pentacles, the rewarded frog. But I feel this energy now is quite leaving you. Yeah, it's quite leaving you. At the beginning, this energy was the devil energy, which is super toxic. Now, it's a dirty energy. And now, this one is leaving you. That means the confusion, the veil of confusion is being removed. And now you see clearly. I am done with this life. I am done with the life I'm living. I feel it on the inside. I am awakening to the truth of God, to the truth of my existence. Awakening. I'm done playing it small. I am done believing that this is all that life is. I am done blocking myself. And this is why even on my old channels, I felt this energy and it was so super frustrating. But I was still part of it a little bit also, right? And now again, people are watching readings, people go to churches, people go out there in the world and they take all this motivational whatever BS. And then they just go back home and live the same life. What is the point? What is the point? It is frustrating. What is the point of me putting all this energy out there and I feel the structure is still rigid? Am I doing a good job? Well, after all, it is a matter of timing, divine timing. We as humans, we really need to be pushed at times, many of us, at the edge and have no other way than be pushed over that edge and fly, right? And it's time to fly. The Four of Cups. This energy is leaving the collective also. Being stuck in the mud, stuck in the mind. Scared, you are the lioness, the lion. You are God embodied and you are trapped in a prison. You are trapped in a black magic, so to speak. An illusion. I don't see my way out. The way will appear as you take the first step. The faith here is really truly tested. I am so happy, says God, that you are choosing this path. This is the real awakening of the world. This is the real path towards home. This is you transcending self, which is transcending mind, right? And as you take the first step, it is a promise from the divine that the next step will show up, and the next step will show up, and the next step will show up. But you have to keep that faith. You have to keep the faith. And remember here, the divine says, money are being taken from the dark forces and they are being given to those that decide to leave those places and stay on the false light matrix for a while. Because why on the false matrix and not straight? It would be too abrupt of a change. Basically, everything would be destroyed in the process of that. And it would cause more harm than good. The Nine of Pentacles, upright. And sooner rather than later, whoever takes this path, which will be many in no time, will find themselves in a good position in life. I'm not promising here riches. For now, we never know. We just know what we know now, right? That's why it's important when you bring information, if you consider yourself a messenger, an information bringer of any sort, you always have to be in touch with that information and filter it. Filter it. Feel through it. See what is updated to it. You can destroy yourself if you are stuck with one information and one information only. The lesson here is find the structure in the flow and the flow in the structure, right? Also, there is a very important lesson this collective needs to learn of what is similar but not the same, right? The real father energy, if an unexperienced eye sees a psychopath and the real father energy, one next to each other, it's going to be super hard for them to decide which one is real, which one is the good one. The psychopath is going to copy paste. The thing is, how does it feel to you? The psychopath can come and can put honey in your ears, and you are going to be like, oh my God, a true leader. And the real father might come and might give you some honey, but it might be surrounded in a very powerful medicine that will really destroy falsity within you. And you might be tempted to think that's the psychopath, right? And so here, this is a very important lesson that many of you need to learn. Many of us need to learn. I am still in the process to understand similarity and what's similar but not the same, similar but not the same. And here I'm not promised riches for now, as I said, to many, but I promise that in a short period of time after the decision is being made, you will feel very good about yourself and about your situation in life. It's Nine of Pentacles. It might not be, because I'm seeing this card a little bit like this energetically, so it might not be a very set in stone or stable situation, but it's not meant to be. You have here, in a sense, to roll with the punches, right? And to keep the faith and to follow the steps on the path. Okay. The Three of Wands, the creative bone prism. The time is now. The time is now. It has been read in bones by a very powerful being in the northern of Europe. She knows that the time is now. Are you that being? The time is now for the real leader to rise and others to follow. The time is now. Let's see now what's going to happen for the dark side of the matrix, the false dark matrix. What's going to happen for them as you take your power back, so to speak. This is the process of taking your power back. This is how it looks like, the initial steps. So we know that once you do that, in time with time, they will weaken. The spell will be taken away, and they themselves will find themselves, so to speak, in the realm of hungry ghosts, right? If you know Gabor Mate, that's what probably he refers to, or not. So we know that. What else? The fool. They will try to escape their karma. They will try to escape their karma, and they will come pretending to be friends with you now. And that's what they have done all this time. They pretended to be your friend. They pretended to be your lover. They pretended to be your parent in order to siphon your energy and to keep the black magic going. Now that you are taking your power back and you block that BS, what's happening is, although they will find themselves uncovered and lost, they will still try to put a knife in your back, pretending, fooling around, the fool, pretending they are now a good individual, and they are, in many cases, more or less sorry for what they have done, for how they have been treating you, why you haven't gotten the real amount of money that you deserved for the job you have been doing. Lies. And they are not going to be felt like lies. That's why it's important for you, once you are on this path, to keep doing the inner work until you are in touch with your truth. Because what is happening is, as you follow your truth now, because now you are following your truth, you are getting more and more in touch with that inner compass that says, this is right and this is wrong. Because we created a spectrum here in the world, we have created this false matrix. This and that, a million opinions, a million shadows. The million of opinions come with the million of shadows. And that's how you mirror in each other. That's a way of seeing the mirroring world in which you find yourself in. Right? And so, they are going to try to fool you once, fool you twice. This is what's going to happen. Then, the Three of Cups, the Trinity Triangle. Some of them, they are going to try to come together to recreate the false matrix, to recreate what is now ruined. But who is going to work for them now? Many will be tempted to do so, because it's going to be hard. But it's not going to be successful. Because once that black magic is being removed, once all these people see the reality of things, there will be almost like, if I go in that direction, I will crumble. And that might mean, in many cases, real death, like dying physically. You are now playing with the maturity of planet Earth. You are now playing with divine power. You are going against it. You want to bring the past back. You are the past. You are now the past. The devil, the master of lies. And then that which we call the Antichrist will rise and will pretend to be the one that destroyed the false matrix. It will pretend to be the savior. This person will have money, and the money they have is hidden in many places on the planet Earth. And they will pretend to help people in different corners of the world. The plan is well established. The plan is well established, and soon you will see it with your own eyes. And as they pretend to be the real father and not the psychopath, many people will have the tendency to follow, and many of these people will eventually die. And you will know this person by his fruits, their fruits, right? How many people will die in the attempt of recreating the world that was, recreating the false ego, recreating the false empire? The real Christ energy, energetically speaking, can look like a black cobra. This individual has a black snake. That is the difference between real Father energy or real Christ, which is one and the same. Me and the Father are one, right? And this. And then you will see this person wearing the mask of a good humanitarian and talking to the world about how sorry he is about these people, whatever is going to happen to them and how it happened, and he's so regretful. And those will be the signs of the second coming. Interesting. One last card. The Nine of Wands, the darkness before dawn. Yeah. Protect yourself, protect your light, protect your energy is what they would say. Who is they? The false light. Let go of any need of protection, knowing that God itself and its army of angels is all around you and is going to intervene in every single moment in time when it's needed. Let go of that thinking that you have to protect, energetically speaking, and maybe otherwise in some cases. When a situation is being mirrored to you, you now have something to work with. And that's the real powerful diving deep towards the next stage, which is out of the false light matrix and out of the matrix itself in the archangel position. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going again to attach at the end of this video a crystal clear picture of the false matrix. I'm going to attach it right there, that video. Let life happen. Allow the pieces of this puzzle fall where they may. and face them with truth and clarity. Have that strength within whenever the situation is approaching you, whatever situation is approaching you, to help you. Ask yourself questions. And if you really hit rock bottom here, where you really don't know what question to ask, or where am I right now? I have no idea how I got here. What am I going to do next? And all these thoughts are going to be resurface in your mind. Believe that God is going to send an energy here that will break through that bottom, which is not the bottom any longer, and you are going to make significant progress, because you are allowing now yourself to see why life happens to you as it happens, right? Yes, we do love the tall buildings. Yes, we do love what we have been creating as a human society. But it's draining us, it's killing us. How is it possible that some have billions and some are being eaten alive by vultures? How is that possible? Shouldn't it be possible to work in those buildings maybe 2 days a week, maybe 3 days a week, and have 4 days for yourself, for life? Isn't it possible to bring this kind of changes? No, it is not possible. It is not possible because you see the world as numbers. But when you see the world through the perspective of the soul, you can see how that is possible. And you cannot lie to me any longer. You cannot lie any longer. I know it is possible. And no, it is not possible because now you are not making the billion, you are making a million. Isn't that enough for you? Is what we are going to feel, think around these situations. If maybe we are all on the same page here and we are all thinking that already. Yes, many times probably what I'm saying has been said, more or less, right? But these people, did they actually, that they were listening to this kind of messages, did they actually do any change in themselves? Because that is where all starts. That's why they have so much power over you, because they think you are a fool, and the fool is going to be dumb in the end. That being said, this was the message for today. I just posted earlier today a schedule for next week, what I'm going to post every single day, as well as another photo with my services. I'm now offering purification journeys. They don't have a price, it's only donation based, so whatever you want and you feel, you can do so. It's going to be over Zoom, it is going to be over the weekend, and it's not an interactive type of event. You can join with your camera off and the microphone off. Then I'm offering now healing sessions, which can be shamanic in essence. I'm offering shadow work readings and healing progress. Where are you in your healing process, so to speak, type of reading. These are recorded, so I'm just going to send you the link for them. And what else was in there? A masterclass that's coming up next week also. This masterclass is going to be held over 4 days, but in the first week we are going to do it 2 days and then 2 days in the next week. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So 2 days and 2 days, and that's going to be all about how to become a better force for divine light, for the divine light to work through you. How can you be a better worker for the divine, so to speak? If this is something that you want to be a part of, you can send me an email. Everything is posted in the description box below and on the community page. I believe that's how it's called. My dream is at some point to have a team that can edit all this for me, and me just doing the videos and focusing only on this creative part of the process. So I really hope one day that's going to happen. Thank you very much for being here. Again, if you have any existential question, you can ask that in the comments also, and I'm going to make a video about it. That being said, thank you very much for being here, and see you in my next one. Bye bye.